Hello, welcome to the Black Salt Mirror. I will be doing a tarot and oracle reading for you today. I will be using the Folkloric Forest Tarot to start off with, since that's the vibe we're getting today. Which is interesting because thematically it looks like a fall deck to me, but it's spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, despite what the weather's doing. So we have the Six of Water and the Devil in reverse. And there's a card that's slipping on the bottom, the Five of Fire. Oh, there's the pups. You gonna join me? Okay. So, the Six of Water is this interesting little ecosystem in this jar. It's probably taxidermied, since these are from oil paintings from the last century. Sometimes things look beautiful because you're not far enough out. If you are close enough up to this beautiful little landscape with the birds and the flowers, it's really charming and full of life. But then when you step back, you see that it's frozen in glass. I'm gonna go with that they're taxidermy because that's the most likely thing that would be painted here. So they're dead and still and lifeless. So it's, in a way, it's warning you against taking what you see as the truth without stepping back and examining. And the Devil reinforces that in reverse. We've got some lovely horned owls here. I feel like I've seen this painting in person somewhere. These types of paintings are quite common. And they've got a rat that they're both holding. You can see it there. Sometimes pretty things are decoys. And very much like in advertising, they're going to tell you all the best things, but sometimes the best things are not the practical things, and sometimes the best things aren't actually what they purport to be. If you've ever gotten something that had bells and whistles and you discover that the bells and whistles either aren't useful or are actually annoying, maybe you know what I'm talking about here. The card that slipped out on the bottom is the Five of Fire. It's kind of similar to what we've been saying. There's a bear here, and it looks like he's found an underground hive of bees, because they're coming out and stinging his face. Which is a little bit different to reality, because the hives are usually something that they build externally, and those bees live in colonies, and that's where the honey is. Usually bees that live in the ground are solitary. Sometimes you'll find them in big congregations that look like colonies, but they all have their individual little houses, and I don't think those are honeybees. But for the sake of artistry, that's kind of what's happening, is he's gotten into honey or come afoul of some bees, and he's getting stung here. And more of them are coming, because they will call the others to protect their home. And this harkens back to what I first said about the first two cards, about how sometimes things can look good. Sometimes you can see that sweet, sweet honey and you want to have some, but then you're getting accosted by the colony of bees that made that honey. And you have to be careful, and you have to know what you're getting into. In particular, bears are fairly adept at that, but it can still be dangerous, and it can still be treacherous. And if you're not a bear, that might be even more problematic. So there's a strong message coming through today about what you see is not what you get. They're even saying be careful what you wish for in some circumstances. Some of you are asking for something and manifesting something that they're saying is not going to be what you think it is. We get a bit more guidance on the specifics of this. Okay. The Tower in reverse and the Nine of Water in reverse. This is a very literal reading today. You're asking for drastic change. And they're saying you don't want that. It will not make you happy. It will not fulfill you. Particularly, it will not fill up your cup. The Nine of Cups is about emotions and emotional fulfillment, which is different from success or monetary fulfillment or security or having all the things that you need. You can be very happy and fulfilled and still not have all your needs met, or still not have the money to spend on things maybe even that you could use, not just wants, but possibly needs. It's the emotional fulfillment, which is an aspect of life. It's not to say that it's in isolation from other types of fulfillments. But next to the Tower, both in reverse, it's saying you are asking for a drastic change because you're unhappy and because you want something new. And in your mind, any change is going to be a step up. However, what they're saying is that's not the case. Drastic change right now is not going to be good for you. There are much smaller steps that you can take. And there are a lot of things they're saying that are being offered to you, that are out there for you, that you're not yet seeing and integrating. We are in a period of time right now as a collective where everything has slowed down for us so that we have time to notice the treasures, they're saying, that are being offered. And some people are still sitting in discomfort. I'm drawn to what looks like fire in the Devil card here. It's the owls. They're sitting on the table. See, this kind of looks like fire. From a distance, it is in fact plumage from the owls' chests with their red eyes. Again, another message of things are not what they seem. The fire isn't fire, it's bird feathers. But the devil in this card is telling you. The devil always whispers, the devil always tricks. A lot of modern interpretations in movies and such always portray the devil as very heavy-handed, and they like to portray villains as monologuing and telling you what their evil plan is. The devil is very subtle. The devil is minor misconceptions that can lead entire actions and courses because of that one small misperception. The devil likes subtlety and ease and the laziness of moving one small piece and having everything go sideways. I'm reminded of Good Omens. I read the book in college. It was by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. And there was a demon who they were building a highway, I think out in LA or something. And they said he had moved one of the turns so that it formed some sort of demonic sigil. And it was like a small move, like a couple miles or feet, or like very, like on the architectural plans, it wasn't a big deal, and so when the car drove over it, it made this sigil and it like funneled all of this demonic energy. It was a very funny book. I mean, it was obviously meant as a joke, but that's kind of what it made me think of. If you just nudge one little thing over and everything collapses. And they're saying, don't move. They're saying, don't touch it. Don't touch it until you know what it does. Until you can see the whole picture. And ask for guidance. Don't just like sit back and be like, oh no, I can't touch anything. It's like, no, we're here with you. You're in this period of stillness. You're being asked to look around and notice things. There are things we want you to notice. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. Everything is strange and new. And even though it seems very literal, it all goes sideways because it's just different. Nothing is as it seems. What is up is down, and what is down is sideways. Okay, there's a bit of chaos about which cards want to come out, which is very unusual. So it's going to be different for everyone. This is the Maiden in reverse. Let's see. Empress. Oh, here she's just a hollow glen. And you look, you don't see the Maiden. Because the Maiden is the glen. not a person. She's an entity, and she lives in this glen. Things are not as they seem. Look closely. Pay attention to word tricks. What is the maiden? It is fertility, birth, light, beauty. All of the things that you find here. The blooming of life and stillness and beauty. And they're saying, notice what stands out. Notice what doesn't fit. All right, I'm going to take the 3. I couldn't decide which one wanted to come. So 7 of water, King of fire, and 5 of earth, all upright. There's something here with the 5 of earth. The frog appears to be dead here. It looks like he's skewered. But the colors of these plants and animals, they look like poison. You know how sometimes nature leaves you symbols. Things that are poisonous in nature have markings to denote them as poisonous. And if you know what to look for, the beautiful things are poison. And that's what they're saying. The beautiful things are poison. And it comes again back to the devil. That's how the devil works. It's beautiful. Feels good. You want to walk towards it. But they're saying the natural is the truth. What belongs in your glen? These brightly colored things don't fit there. They're clearly from somewhere else. Okay. You can tell that these are from a different climate than this. This is going to have 4 solid seasons. This is going to be a very warm place. Notice what doesn't fit in with the natural order. And then the 7 of water. Here, always vessels. What doesn't fit in? It's red. It's standing out. It's holding some kind of grain. These are water vessels. Why is it holding grain? Looks like some sort of decorative pottery. It's not for holding water. It's for decoration. Notice what stands out. Notice what doesn't fit in. And the King of Fire. If you've seen Bambi, which I don't recommend if you haven't, there was a time when Disney wanted to traumatize us, and all of the others followed suit. It's a long list of traumatic childhood movies I saw. His father comes at the end to get him. His mother is killed in the beginning, of course, and for some reason his father doesn't show up until later and then takes him into the mists. Kind of useless dad, but it's also kind of weird that they would kill the female, because the males are bigger and they have the racks. Doesn't fit in, doesn't belong here. The King of Fire is the lord of his domain. Fire is passion and aggression and sex, which is also a passion. It's something that drives you. Be the lord of your realm. Look out over it. See what's in the mists. Take your time to get to know what is around you and to know what magic you come from. That's it. One more and then an oracle. Not going to be one, is it? It's never one. Okay. The 6 of air. I'm trying to figure out if this path is broken. This is in reverse. You see the path here. And then when it goes here between these pillars, I can't tell if it's broken or no, it looks like it might be solid. I guess this is what you're looking for, to know if it's solid. It looks kind of rickety, but if you can walk on it, then it's serviceable, right? Or maybe don't go that way, it's in reverse. But you won't know until you investigate. And you shouldn't do that by stepping on it if you don't know if it's going to hold your weight. Four of Fire. Oddly, the Moon is what draws me in this card. We've got some people down here making fire. And they're little... I can't tell if we're looking into a hut or if there's just an alcove. But the Moon... No matter how focused you are and how insulated you are, and this kind of looks like one of those museums where like they do the little cutout of the side so you're supposed to know that there's a wall there, but you can see in. The Moon's always there. The other side is always there. Your guides are always there. Spirit's always there. And the mysteries are always there, even when you're focused on something else. And that's what they wanted you to know. You're getting too granular with your goals and you're seeing very 3D, like your job, your car, your immediate living space. And they're like, the beauty of nature that's being destroyed by progress is to remind you of all that exists outside of you. Not just what you can see, but what you can feel, the energies that move through the trees that connect you to the energetic realms that are not physical. There it is. The World. And a giant peach. It might be an apple. It's going to be a peach today for those of you that remember. We've got a bee again up there in the left corner and the butterfly again. All of these things are part of nature. All of these things are part of the world. Not all of them are for you. Not all of them are good for you, but they're all a part of you. And the way that you, where to go, the way that you navigate is your path alone. And you see it in your mind. And it's no one else's path, and it doesn't look like anything else. But you are here to find it, and to walk it, and to be its sovereign. Notice what everyone else is doing, notice what's going on around you, because it's part of your world, and you need to protect yourself against things. But also notice when they're not part of you, when they're just there to be enjoyed, to be watched, to be learned from. So you have a path that's separate and apart from everyone else, but you're also part of the world that everyone else is part of. So their paths are part of your world. You just don't walk them. You walk your own. And no one else will walk your path. And that is the message for today. I'm curious if it resonates. I don't always remember the things that I channel, but this is for someone in particular. I love you all. I'll see you very soon.